Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle, and this is my latest episode of New Music Friday. It is July 1st, 2022, and this is the show where I bring you guys the top 5 prog news headlines for the week and talk about what's happening on my channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-stop shop for all great prog news and for updates about my channel, this is the place to be, so I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. So thank you guys for all your support, the ones who have already subscribed and that watch these regularly. I appreciate it, and hopefully this is an interesting show for you guys today. So let's get into the prog headlines today. Number 1, I always like to start with kind of the big new album releases that came out today. That's kind of where the New Music Friday name came from, is that oftentimes, pretty much all the time, music is released on Fridays, the big new albums, and so it's always an exciting day to kind of anticipate and get excited about new releases. And the new album released today that I'm most excited about is the Deer Hunter's new album, Antimai, an incredible concept type record that explores a new world and gives these impressions of these different geographic locations in this world that they're building, and has a lot of great social commentary about the hierarchy structure of the social stratus of these groups. Really fascinating, with some really great, quirky, funky grooves, a lot of horns, a lot of cool jazzy vibes. It's kind of taking a different turn from their typical Axe album that came out before, Axe 1 through 5, which are some of my favorite records of all time. I really love those ones, but this kind of takes the music in a new direction, which I think is really cool and worth listening to. Really one of my favorites of the year so far, just from what I've heard, and I'm excited to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it in a full-on review coming out this week, so I'm excited to mention that one. Also, Derek Sherinian's new solo album, Vortex, came out today with a lot of different cool guest musicians helping him, and just, of course, he's the former keyboardist of Dream Theater and is now in Sons of Apollo, does a lot of solo work, and is just an incredible player, and so that's definitely one to check out. And there's also on my radar is Umphrey's McGee, their new album, Asking for a Friend, which came out today. Really cool band, kind of a jam band, but has some progressive rock leanings as well, and has some just really tight, good, solid songwriting that really speaks to me. I really like their last several albums, so definitely some good recommendations there for some new music coming out today. Now, item number 2, prog news headline number 2, there's a new posthumous solo album that's going to be released from David Longdon called Door 1. This is going to be released in October. So David Longdon unfortunately passed away last year. It was very sudden and kind of tragic, and there's been a lot of mourning and grief over the situation. It's been a difficult period of trying to come to terms with it, and the band has kind of made new arrangements and decided they want to continue on, but this is apparently some music that he was working on before he passed away, music that he's been accumulating for the past few years, and he'd been recording this since April 2021, after the completion of their Common Ground album. So in fact, on the night of his tragic accident that led to his passing, he had just returned home to Nottingham from a recording session at Playpen Studios with his co-producer engineer Patrick Phillips. So at the time of his death, the album was about 90% finished. However, David's partner Sarah and all the key protagonists involved in the creation of the record agreed that David would want this album to be heard. So they're finishing up the record and releasing it this October with a great core group lineup of drummer Jeremy Stacey, bassist Steve Vancis, saxophonist Theo Travis, and David's longstanding friend and former bandmate Gary Bromham. So a really cool core lineup of musicians that make up a lot of the music here on this record, so should be definitely one to check out. There's a little bit of a trailer teaser that's online that you could check out on YouTube that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect, so really cool and a way to kind of honor his memory and his musical contributions, so really excited to check out that one. Of course, the pre-order campaign is all going on right now, so you can pre-order it on CD or white and black vinyl, and it'll be available to download and stream on on the various digital platforms. So definitely want to check out. Related news, item number 3 on my list is Big Big Train releasing a Blu-ray 2 CD set of their live performance from 2018 Night of the Prog. So this should be a really cool performance, captured in a live setting. Of course, Big Big Train are very notable for their live performances. They're just really incredible live, and this was a legendary performance that was a very seminal moment for the group that they're really proud of, and it looks like it's being released in both 5.1 and stereo by sound engineer Rob Aubrey, and it just covers their catalog. It's a really great mixture of different songs from throughout the years, of at least the years they performed with David Longdon, and once again another kind of, in combination with the David Longdon solo album coming out, a good fitting kind of tribute to David Longdon and his performance and contributions to the band. And it just seems like a show that they're really proud of. Gregory Sponton says of the show, "The stars aligned perfectly for us. It was a truly magical night with the band performing brilliantly and a wonderfully welcoming audience as they and we enjoyed the glorious outdoor setting." So really a beautiful performance. It's really great that it's captured here. The performance was played in Lorelei, Germany. Just really cool to have this and to have kind of a document of their live show from this period of the band. So I'm excited for the release of that. Another release was announced, which gives us Prog news item number 4. Steve Hackett announces the release of Genesis Revisited Live, Seconds Out and More. So this is celebrating the 2021 UK tour that they did. Steve Hackett and his incredible group, his incredible backing band that really adds a lot to the music. This is set for release September 2nd, 2022, with a vinyl following on November 25th. So it's Steve performing with his band the full Seconds Out, which is kind of an iconic live record from Genesis, as well as a selection of solo material from his most recent album, Surrender of Silence. So Steve Hackett really never misses his shows and his products. His releases are always really top notch, and so this should be no exception. It'll be available as a limited 2 CD plus Blu-ray and limited 2 CD plus DVD, both including 5.1 surround, behind the scenes documentary, and promo videos. And of course, Steve Hackett's band consists of Roger King, Rob Townsend, Jonas Reingold, Nad Sylvan, and Craig Blundell, joined by Amanda Lehman as a special guest. So an incredible lineup of musicians, really incredible performance, I'm sure, and it'll be a great thing to pre-order and check out. So definitely, if you're interested, that is available to pre-order as well in various different sites and various different formats. And number 5, kind of another announcement, but this time of a reissue. This is Pink Floyd. They announced their long-delayed Animals reissue. It'll finally be released September 16th. Animals 2018 remakes. It'll be released in CD, LP, Blu-ray, and SACD formats, coming with a 28-page booklet. So there's a lot there, a big limited deluxe edition coming out on October 7th, including the CD, LP, audio Blu-ray, audio DVD, and a 32-page book featuring behind-the-scenes photos. The Blu-ray and DVD audio include the original 1977 stereo mix, the 2018 remix in stereo, and for the first time, 5.1 surround sound. These 2018 mixes were done by James Guthrie, who's worked with Pink Floyd since 1978. So looks like a lot of love and care went into this remix set. Just kind of a lot of things that Pink Floyd releases, really great stuff, so I'm really excited to check that one out. It should be a cool new mix of a classic album that I really love, so I wanted to mention that. And as a 6th kind of bonus item, I saw, for those of you who may be a fan of Jellyfish, the power pop group that's really celebrated for their kind of short career back in the early 90s, they're releasing a 7-inch box set celebrating their singles from throughout that period of their like kind of early 90s time. And so this is their first ever vinyl box set, limited to 1,000 copies. It's 7 remastered multicolored 7 inches set spanning the the band's original run of singles, a bonus covers single exclusive to the box set, a deluxe 64-page booklet featuring interviews alongside previously unseen photographs, memorabilia, and a 3D poster with custom Jellyfish glasses. So definitely a big package full of great, incredible music. They're such a great band that I think a lot of people are finally discovering and enjoying now because of their connections with some of the prog world and the power pop world, and they just sound really great. So I think it's definitely a collection worth seeking out if you're interested in that sort of thing. So and that's really all the news I have for today that I wanted to mention. For the channel, I did a recent review of the new Porcupine Tree album, Closure Continuation. Really love the album. I'm loving it even more as I listen further, so I'm excited about that release and definitely would encourage you to check out my review of it. Of course, we have our typical Prog Song Sunday coming up this Sunday from an American band, kind of in tandem with 4th of July celebration, so that should be a fun time if you're into that kind of thing. And I'm considering 2 videos this upcoming week. I wasn't really sure if I was going to do it, but I think I'm going to film kind of my favorite albums of 2022 so far. A lot of people are doing this, so I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and talk about my favorite albums so far of the year. And I want to, like I mentioned before, get a review out of the new Deer Hunter album that I'm really enjoying and loving. So that's really what you could expect on the horizon, and hopefully some interesting album rankings coming up in the future as well. But those are taking a little bit more time to assemble, so I don't want to promise anything too much yet, but there should be Porcupine Tree rankings coming, as well as the long-mentioned Marillion album rankings. So thank you guys for your support and for all that you do. I want to make sure to end the video with that, with a great thank you for all that you guys do and for the incredible comments and the support. And I'm really appreciative of it. It really helps me move things along with the channel and stay motivated to keep giving you guys good content. So hopefully you appreciate the show and the news items today, and hopefully you're having a great time listening to whatever new music you got going on out there. So thank you so much for all of the support, and hopefully I'll catch you in another video. So thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Bye.